good evening, and welcome to a very special edition of BTL Day 4 with the man Frank SCALISH, special Wednesday evening post classic edition of Day 4. And Frank, it's great to see that you made it back.
I'm just laughing. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great to be back. I'm laughing because you're like, you open the show, you're like, good evening.
Yeah. I mean, it is an evening show because I typically say good morning, so I wanted to make sure that I got the time of the day right in the intro. I'm gonna do a montage of you just laughing at me opening the show. Remember when I did the montage of you fighting fish, for us on camera, where you're like, zing, bang,
oh yeah,
load,
boom, pow,
yeah, boom, pow, wha pow. I'm going to do that of me just saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and then you just chuckling, chuckling over in the SCALISH studio in Cleveland, Ohio.
That's because I have funny things running around in there, dude. I have jokes, I have things, but some of them I can't say on air.
So all week on BTL, we have wrapped up the 54th edition of the Bassmaster Classic, and tonight is no different. We're going to talk Bassmaster Classic. We're going to talk Expo. We're going to talk meeting literally hundreds of diehard BTL and Day 4 fans, which warmed my heart, and I know it warmed your heart. We're going to get into all of that, and then we're going to kind of take a look ahead at the month of April for Day 4 and BTL. But Frank, right off the hopper, your second classic in a row, I believe.
Yes.
But the first one that you were really there for the entire thing, in the expo, meeting the fans, doing the whole thing. Break it down, your initial Bassmaster Classic thoughts.
Okay, so I know that, Matt, you've been doing this like a lot since the classic started. Since the classic started, you've just been on every night, every day. So I don't want to, bore you to tears.
Oh, you're not boring me at all. I've been looking forward to this show. That's why we're doing an evening edition. I leave for Southern California bright and early in the morning. And then on Friday, I will be out with Captain Ben Florentino chasing calico bass in Southern California in the salt. So dude, I'm all in for the show tonight, Frank. So I am very curious because as much time as we spent together, we really didn't have a time to break it down. So I figured, heck, let's just break it down on the show on a special Wednesday night edition.
Outstanding. Dude, those calicos will be so much fun. You catch them out of the kelp. It's so cool.
Yeah, we're going to Catalina Island, I guess, is where the bite is right now. So with Captain Ben Florentino. Benny Florentino. If you want to know what we're doing, there's a Guide Day episode that I aired 2 Fridays ago out on the BTL YouTube and podcast channel, the Guide Day episode. That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh, you'll have an absolute blast, dude. It's like crazy. So back to the classic. I'd rather talk about bass fishing and calico bass and saltwater fishing, but we're gonna do this, okay? I'm gonna tell you. I have a story. Can I start with a story?
You start with whatever you want. It's your show.
Well, it's our show. But okay, I'm going to start with a story. So Frankie and I drove in. Not a big deal drive. I mean, 14 and a half hours. Not super crazy. But I didn't feel like just doing it in one day. I didn't feel like just road warrying it down there and getting in at 9 or 10 at night. So what I decided to do is we'll split the trip. So I have a short drive coming in the morning, and I can get there early and get settled in. So we're about 2 hours out of Tulsa, and we get a text message from the hotel that I actually booked months and months ago. Booked this hotel. And they're like, hey, we're going to refund your money and blah, 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 because we have to close the hotel. There's a water main break. And I'm like, and I had a few choice words come out because I'm like, I knew how hard it was to find a place to stay to begin with. So their comment was, well, Frankie called him because I'm like, that's a bullshit. That's a BS text. So Frankie called him, and the guy answers the phone. He's like, well, we wanted to give you ample time to get another place to stay. And I cut loose. I'm like,
you're 2 hours away.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be checking in a couple hours.
Right. I'm like, I'm 2 hours away. Everything is booked. What do you mean ample time to find a place to stay? So I had, Frankie called around. We got a place to stay. And anyway, that's how it started. But the funny thing is that it worked out because you called me and said, hey, when are you coming in? And I told you what time I'm going to get there. And you're like, hey, we got to go to the, the Bass Hall of Fame thing.
The Bass Fishing Hall of Fame Classic Mixer. So they have they have kind of a meet and greet for those who support the Hall of Fame, are involved in it. The board members, you can bring in people. They do it at Red Crest. They do it at the Classic every single year. So since you donated the one-of-a-kind Frank SCALISH Signature Series drawing and then called the winner of the auction, that's why I shot Frankie Jr. the little flyer and said, hey, you ought to stop by.
Yeah, it was, and I'm glad I did. For a lot of reasons, and that was really cool. And that's how the Classic started for me. And so it was a lot of fun right off the rip. And then of course, the expo was great.
No, you're going back to the mixer, right? Because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, that's public. No, that's public information. Like, I mean, they made that announcement. Like it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I didn't realize that. So KVD got up there and spoke with Bruce from Pradco, and then I got a couple of mentions for the painting that I've been doing, and I designed some baits for a fundraiser for the Hall of Fame, specifically. And so they mentioned all that stuff, and it was a very neat surprise. I didn't expect it at all. And Matt, did you know they were going to do that?
No, I'm kind of behind on my Bass Fishing Hall of Fame meetings. As Barb Bowman, who runs it, has pointed out to me at the mixer. To be painfully obvious,
to be brutally fair. So I had no idea any of this was going to take place. So it was kind of humbling and flattering at the same time. KVD said a few things, and it was pretty cool. I mean,
what did KVD say, Frank? What the one time you're trying to tell a good story? Don't be humble. Just tell the story, Frank.
Well, I don't remember exactly what he said.
He gave you multiple shout outs.
Yeah, he did.
There it is right there. There's the Hall of Fame. Wait a second. Is that Frankie Jr. in the background?
Oh my gosh.
This is the Bass Fishing Age Show. I have not been on this website. All right. We got to do this. Let's see if we can do this. All
right.
Open image and new tab. There it is. Now I think we can do this and zoom in. Yes, there we go. Okay. So there it is. Let's look in the background. Right behind Bruce's shoulder, right in that region. There he is. That's Frankie Jr.
There's his 15 minutes of fame.
Look at that. That's right on the front page.
That's fabulous.
So obviously funny. Fred Arbogast was inducted, one of the 5 anglers that was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. So there's the jitterbug with the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. Holy cow! I think we're still zoomed in a little bit. And
I did not design that bait, obviously.
Yes, but there's
so funny.
Like a limited run of these that you will be a limited run. So Strike. Long story short, this is the way I believe it happened. Strike King let KVD put his name on and design 300 of these things for Arbogast and Pradco, because 100% of the proceeds for these 300 baits will all go to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Correct.
But these baits will be available for purchase at some time in the future on lurenet.com.
Correct.
And KVD wanted to make sure that you were in charge of his paint job and did it properly.
Correct. That is correct.
It was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, I was very flattered by it, actually. I didn't expect it at all. Like I had no clue. And so that was kind of cool, really. And that's how it started for me. And then, you know, the expo was fabulous. And then, of course, the fans were beyond fabulous. You guys that follow this show are beyond fabulous. I was shocked, to be honest with you, and very happy. I was very happy because the last thing you'd want is 3 people to show up. So you guys came out and you busted the door down, and I love it. So I have to say thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty special. It was neat. So we were supposed to. So how many color number 7s did we end up giving out, Frank?
I have no clue. I have no clue. They were supposed to bring, I believe, 300, but they had quite a few boxes there, and we wound up ripping through every single one of them, which was sweet.
So I would say at least 500.
I would.
It had to be because they're. So we were supposed to do it, or we did it at 12:30 on Saturday,
right?
And I gotten some messages. You'd gotten some messages. Some people who are going to be in town, some listeners, some viewers that we knew. Hey, make sure we're there on Friday. Walking around the expo, ran into a couple people that were like, "Dude, can't wait to be there." And we're like, "All right, there's gonna be a few people there. Like, it's not gonna we're not just gonna be elbows deep in color number 7s."
Right, exactly.
Give them to the passive people going, "What the hell color is this? And why is there a 7 underneath it?"
Exactly. 100%. So I got text, hey, we need you here at noon. And so Matt had other things going on. I text Matt, any chance for noon? And he's like,
at 11:54, you said, Matt, Pradco wants to start at 12. I like how you said at 12 noon today, just to clarify.
Yeah, exactly. And
I said, well, I'm at Pro Guide until 12:15. You said, okay, no problem. Just get down here ASAP. I will hold down the fort.
Exactly. That was the transaction. And that's funny you keep that. I delete all my stuff.
You delete all your texts?
Like every single day.
Why?
I just don't want all that crap in my phone.
I have every single text we've ever said to each other, Frank. I could scroll back to the first time we texted. Well, no, because I think there's 2 phones in the bottom of the lake since then. But I mean, I could scroll back. I mean, I got everything we've ever texted. Like, I can go back to the beginning where I'm like, I guess it's just me and you now after Jeffrey's retired.
Let's not go back that far.
I mean, I can. I mean, my thumb would be a little cramped by the time I scrolled all the way back. But no.
Yeah. So then I got there and I was very happily surprised that there was a lot of people there, and then started doing my thing. And I don't think I signed 10 lures, and then all of a sudden Mark Jeffries pops out from the background. So that was pretty sweet too, actually.
Yes. You kind of undersold that. Can I tell how it actually happened?
Yeah, you should, because there's a lot of blurriness there.
So I get done at Pro Guide. Amazing Lithium Batteries just came out with a whole new line of chargers. Check them out if you're in the line for a charger, an AGM, or lithium. I think the code's BTL24. Anyway, Pradco doesn't sell batteries or chargers, do they? Am I going to get in trouble for saying that?
No, they don't sell
chargers. Okay. So I mosey on over to the Pradco booth, it's like 2 booths in one. So they have one that had like Great Lakes finesse and that type of stuff on it. And then there was
back.
And then there was a partition, so you couldn't see the other side. So I roll up, and it's like ghost town on that side. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And so I'm like looking for you, and I don't see you, and I walk over there, and I kind of get around the side of the partition. I kid you not, there's 200 people in line, Frank. It goes, this is the honest to God truth. You agree?
Oh
It
yeah.
was
Oh yeah.
all BTL listeners all the way in the line. Then the line actually went and kind of snaked around the Suzuki booth.
Oh yeah.
Which Rojas was standing in going, what in the hell is going on? And then it went to the back wall and then looped around the back wall all the way to the start of the door. And I was like, now this is the BTL viewers and listeners that we've come to know and love.
That's right.
And dude, you took time, hundreds of pictures with everyone. You signed all sorts of stuff. Everyone got their lures on that first day and actually had to like cut it off. And then basically the same thing happened on Sunday at noon.
Well, we had to cut it off because we had to be at the Bass Tank at 2.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I look down, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go. So we cut it off, but thankfully the people that were still left in line came back, the very next day, which was cool.
No, it was cool. So the other thing that I was worried about, which I didn't even mention to you, was there's some sort of term for it, but where you just see everyone in line. You have no idea what the line's for, but you think, well, if they're in line, I better get in line. And then they get up and they're like, what is this bait and who is this guy? But dude, right. Like everybody was jacked to meet you, Frank, and had the stories and their favorite BTL stories. And I was beyond blown away with the support. So
yeah, same here. It was so much. It was so cool. It was so super cool.
I see Sean on here. I got to meet Sean. He's on all the shows. Got to meet him, hang out with him, talk with Sean for a while. It's great to meet him. I'm seeing a bunch of names in here of guys that were there. So
oh yeah, and I noticed you got the apple.
Yeah. So one of the here's the deal right here. So one of the listeners, Alan from the Pinhook Fishing Club, gave each of us an apple, and it goes back to the Mark Jeffries 3 E's of entertain, educate, and engage. And this is the educate part of it. So the apple with a nice little note in it. So Alan, you got an apple too. I see the apple right in the corner of your studio. And like I said, I proudly have it displayed here. And it's also hollow in the, oh no, I shouldn't say that if I need to hide anything in there. But
yeah, you don't disclose, man. Don't disclose.
Anyway, but no, awesome, cool deal.
Yeah, it was great. And then one of the fans gave me a bag of Bucky nuggets.
Oh, I wish I could play that video.
Yeah, well,
I just get a message from Frankie. It's just you. It's just you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You eat some Bucky nuggets and you just look at the camera and go, these are effing delicious.
I know. And
was that your first Bucky nugget experience?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, the problem with those things are they're so sweet. I mean, they are like, it's like just you're eating like this big ball of flavored sugar. I mean,
delicious though.
Yeah, it was great. Oh, that's the dude that brought the big jerkbait, the big Rapala thing in to sign.
Yeah.
Remember
he said it's Jersey.
Oh yeah, the Rapala jersey. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought he was the one that brought that big.
That was 2 years ago.
No, there's a guy that brought a big lure Saturday.
Oh,
or Sunday. But yeah.
Yeah, everyone's saying that the beaver nuggets are delicious.
Oh, beaver nuggets. What did I say? Bucky's nuggets?
Yeah. The beaver nuggets, Bucky's beaver nuggets.
Yeah, they were, but you can't eat those. Like, you can't like really eat those. I mean,
you just, every time I get them though, you just like half an hour after, you just do not feel good about yourself because you eat the whole dang bag, and it's one of those bags.
Yeah, that Captain Crunch. That's exactly what they are.
They're not light either. It's like a heavy bag. So then all that heaviness is
right,
causes some internal turmoil.
Of course, when you're washing them down with Coors Light, it doesn't help.
Yeah. Now I'll be honest. On my end, because I was driving back and did a show every night except Saturday night. Very light on the social activities for me. You know, we went out to dinner one night.
Yeah,
We kind of got away from the
the crowd.
downtown deal.
Yeah,
We'll just stick with the food. I can't. I don't know. You said how old you are on the show before, right?
maybe not.
Well, you're over.
I'm older than Matt by a
You're old. You're over 50. So
Yeah,
in
I'm
over 50 years of life, I don't know how you made it that long without ever trying a cheese curd.
Well, I'm going to tell you why, okay? Because I always thought it was curled cheese, and I'm like
Curdled or curled?
curled, like
Curdled, not curled.
yeah,
It's a
like
cheese curd, CURD, so curdled cheese.
right. But I always likened it to cottage cheese, which I absolutely hate. So I never, if I ever saw it anywhere, I never ordered it because I'm like, I'm not eating that. And then
I
anyway,
gotcha. So you thought it was like sour, gross stuff.
yeah, 100%. So
Okay.
so go ahead, finish. Go on.
So we went to Bricktown Brewery, which there's a number of them around there, but it's an Oklahoma deal. And one of my favorite appetizers there are the cheese curds, which I was nervous to order because you guys are from the north. And if we all know it, you know, you get up north, you don't mess with the cheese curds. And so we put them down in front of you, and you're safe to say you're officially a fan of cheese curds now.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, 100%. I'll maul them now if I get them. If I see them, I'll get them because it's beautiful. I mean, they're sweet. It's not heavy. It actually was surprising me how light it was, and it was kind of sweet tasting. It wasn't like going somewhere and getting fried mozzarella, where it's like then it's like you're eating this heavy cheese brick with breading on it. These were real light, airy. I liked them a lot, actually.
So we did that one night, and then we went to Luke Duncan's annual low budget live party downtown on the second night. Got there early. We got there early and left early, which was perfect because that thing was that was a powder keg. That thing was about to get wild.
Yeah, we left probably right.
We spent 4 hours there. We got to listen to Low Budget Live. We got to listen to Luke and the band play. They played a great set, had a great time, got to talk with a bunch of people that we hadn't seen in a long time there. And then I bounced at like 9:30, headed over to like the Dusty Lanes bowling alley, and Matt Steffen and Johnny Schultz, the guys from Core Tackle, had a little party over there. So I got a bowling game in, and then we didn't get home till like midnight that night. It's an hour and 10-minute drive. Courtney was exhausted, but she was a trooper.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, we stayed at the Hyatt down there, and a lot.
Now you tied it on a little bit at the Hyatt, right? Like you got to hang out with some of the guys and catch up.
Yeah, every night. Yeah, every night it was cool. You know, I ran into a lot of guys that I knew well from fishing. You know, Hackney was there, Pete Pons was there. Pete and I spent a lot of time BSing and talking.
He's a good dude, man. I wouldn't consider myself like a good friend of Pete, but every time I've been around Pete, and I've done I had done Kurt Dove's pro bass camp with him, interviews, hung out with him before. Really enjoyed my time around Pete Pons.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy.
Wasn't he a big Bandit guy? Is he still a big Bandit guy?
He was with Bandit for a lot of years.
I remember him, like, you think of brands with certain anglers, and I think of Bandit with Pete Pons. I don't know who he's with now.
Yeah, I think he's.
I'm just saying, in my mind, as an angler growing up, I associate Pete Pons with Bandit.
100%. I mean, it's so funny because he was so popular with Bandit. He was almost like the Bandit logo. Which is so bizarre to say. And I've hung out with Pete a lot, and people actually thought that he owned Bandit, that he was the owner of Bandit.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. And then I think he's with Rattle Trap, and I'm not 100% sure. That's so bad of me.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was just saying, there's some guys who it's just like a team. Like, Brett Favre will always be a Packer.
Right.
Even though he had good years with the Vikings. So.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's a good dude. Hackney's fantastic. Just everybody. I mean, I ran into so many pros that I used to hang out with. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. It was I overdid it a lot because I'm usually pretty stoic. I'm usually pretty,
Yeah, no, you seemed like you were really mellow this year and last year. We kind of went nuts at Luke's party last year.
Yeah, Luke's party is a blast. You know what? I like that dude. He's so funny. He could be a stand-up comedian if he wanted to be. I mean, his timing is perfect, dude.
Clay would like to know who your least favorite person to see was at the Classic.
Do you honestly think for 1 minute that we're going down this road?
That's a vintage Clay Williamson question, though. I had to respect it at least.
Yeah, all right, Clay. I'm going to tell you.
Oh yeah, I think Pete is with Epic now. That's Brian Knighton's company.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds exactly right.
Yeah, you should have said me. Good call there, Nick.
That is so funny. Who's the least person? I didn't actually run into my least favorite person, I did not.
Neither did I. I'll drink to that.
I forgot my water and everything. I have nothing here.
I gotta drive to Dallas tonight, or else I'd have the coffee mug going tonight since it's an evening show.
Yeah, I'm tracking. I forgot everything. Everything's on my kitchen counter.
I mean, I can hold the fort down for here's what I can do. I'll show you what I can do. We can put some music up if you need to run down.
No, I'm not going. I'm not.
Are you sure? Because I'll just put this up like that, and then we'll just make that full screen, and then I'll just and then here I'll just throw.
No.
There you go. We're on a commercial break if you need to go down and get a cold one.
No, I'm not going. I'm not leaving.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I would give it a from the fan interaction, the experience, and the way things went for what we were there to do. I give it a 10 out of 10 Classic.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't mind the fishing as much either. I know it was kind of up and down, but I thought it was really interesting because forward-facing sonar played for some never even looked at it, which is kind of synonymous with this time of year. I mean, once the bass are coming to the bank, traditional fishing becomes really good. It was a little stalled. I thought you guys would be a little farther ahead than you were because of all the trees that were blooming when I got down there.
Yeah, but it's really early. It was a weird jacked up week. Like Christy said, 2 weeks, we blow this thing out. 2 weeks earlier, 2 weeks later. He's like, this was a weird week. It should have been prime, but it was a little bit ahead. Typically, it's another couple weeks before what was happening is happening. That little lull between when they get on the beds hard, when they're on the pre-spawn hard.
Right. So like what we're experiencing a lot of cold weather coming back here now, where we were experiencing a warming trend and the fish were actually getting to the bank. And now we're going to have nights in the 20s again for a few nights in a row, in the low to upper 20s. And, it's going to be funky. It's going to be kind of like what they experienced, where some will be there, some won't be there. It's going to be interesting. I might sneak out tomorrow and see just see what I can see. I'm not going to be able to spend the whole day out there, but I want to get out there and so I don't get fooled. You know what I mean? I don't want to be
Mhm.
fooled when I actually get a chance to go spend some time on the water. I want to make sure that I'm semi dialed in. So I'm going to try to sneak out tomorrow. But yeah, but I'll give the same thing. I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for what we had to do there and for the fans showing up and everything. I'm going to say totally a 10 out of 10. I didn't watch a lot of coverage just because I was, busy socializing. So I didn't see a lot of the coverage, but everybody had their phones on everywhere we were,
Mhm.
checking the score tracker, checking everything all the time. So
Uh,
it was pretty cool.
just for the sake of accuracy, Pete Pods is with Yamamoto now. I just wanted to make sure I got that
You
right.
you gotta be accurate. But yeah, so it was really great to see Pete again. He is, in my opinion, he's a class act, man. I mean, that guy's just a class act.
Yeah.
So,
did you get a chance to look around the expo at all? Was there anything you saw that tickled your fancy? I thought it was cool. I got to actually put my hands on the new that craw tube from Great Lakes Finesse that we had seen so much about on the day 4 that had been one of the new releases. And I will tell you this. The pictures and the videos make it look good, but it doesn't do it justice until you get that thing in your hands and you can feel the weight of it and the balance and how it's designed and how it looks. It's just one of those baits. And I'm not BSing this.
No,
It's one of those baits when you get it in your hand, you're like, dude, that's going to catch him.
oh yeah, that Juvie Craw surprised me to no end. I have some, and it's so perfect. It
Mhm.
is the perfect size. It's really cool. And then the thing that I didn't know that I like was how you could rig it weedless. That was kind of sneaky. I thought that was pretty slick. So yeah, it was really cool. The Great Lakes Finesse stuff is it's such a fine-tuned set of baits. It is so remarkably fine-tuned that it's a system. Everything they make is a system, and I was kind of not upset like angry, but like I'm trying to eliminate tackle from my boat.
No,
And
this is
all I keep doing
this
is
is
adding
adding
it.
to it.
Yeah, all I keep doing is adding and adding and adding. Pretty soon my boat will go 10. But
But
that
yeah,
excites
so
me.
that was cool. Anything
Yeah.
else that you saw that was interesting?
Well, honestly, I honestly wanted to look around more than I did. I wanted to see some new paint schemes people were
Mm-hmm.
doing and stuff like that. The thing that surprised me more than anything was the attention the glide baits got over there. I didn't. That's all I heard people talking about was the glide baits, and I'm like, one friend of mine came up to me and he's like, "Look at I got," and he's pulls out 3 or 4 of these glide baits, and I'm going, "Oh, those are pretty sweet, man." And he goes, "Yeah, they're only $200 a piece." I'm like, "What?" So
Well, you
yeah.
typically don't lose those.
Well, you guys don't lose them, but throw them up here where the pike and muskies live.
Oh yeah,
You'll
that's
go
true.
through 2 a day easily,
I never even thought about that. I mean, I have
easily.
thought about that. That's why they like to use the cheaper kind of plastic mass-produced ones up there because they do get taken by the beefy critters.
Oh yeah, my buddy Jeff comes up. He's showing these 8 inchers he bought for a couple $100 each, and he's like, "Dude, you got to get into this glide game." I go, "Where I live, dude." I said, "There's no way. You might as well just throw $200 in the water and leave." I'm just not. There's no way. You know what I mean? I can't do that. So yeah, but that intrigued me. I just it, it's like my interest is so peaked on them. I'm actually going to get some and throw them. But I won't do it. I won't do it on the lakes that have muskies and pike in them. I'll have to be real careful where I throw those here. I got one lake. If I threw it out there, there's no telling how many I would lose because I musky fish on this lake, and sometimes I'll catch 9 a day, and they're gargantuan. You hold them up and the belly's down here, like that. You could never throw one of those in that lake. You'd have to use wire leaders. There's no way you could do it.
All right, let me ask you this. I think you've talked about this a little bit, and I do want to ask you, it was a pretty cool deal to see Justin Hamner win wire to wire. He was on BTL the day after the Classic on Monday. You can go watch that show. When you won the Northern Open out of Buffalo, you won $50,000 in 2004.
Yeah.
Was that in your state at that time, would you consider that a life-changing tournament? Like, was your life different the 3 days before you entered that tournament than it was after?
Yeah, it was. It was, and it wasn't because of the money.
Okay.
It was because of what I was able to parlay that into after that win. The money helped because when I started fishing, I was fishing on a shoelace, and then everything started clicking in. I want to say, I can't say it was all because of that win, but that win helped that out a lot. And it was really kind of, that tournament there was really special in a lot of ways. Fish and I became really close friends as I was competing on tour. Fish, for those that don't know, it's Fishburne. Anyway, we became really good friends. And then he was not going to be at the Buffalo tournament. For whatever happened, whatever the reasons were, he wasn't going to make it at Buffalo. So the first 2 days he wasn't there. And so I didn't think he was going to be there. And then sure enough, he showed up on the last day. So cool. It was hilarious. I mean, I was so happy to have him there. It was hilarious. So what he does is, and I don't know if I told the story on air or not before ever, but I come in and you know how it is, Matt. They'll tell you need X amount of pounds to take the lead. You know what I mean? Yep. And so I put the bag of fish on the scales, and I'm doing the math in my head. I'm looking at the guy I got to beat. I'm doing the math in my head. So there was this stall where I literally don't say a word. I'm just, because I'm doing the math in my head, and then Fish is like, dude, you won. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, holy crap, I won. So he goes, where's Rachel? I go, she's at Notre Dame with the kids. She went with all her old, Notre Dame cronies. They went to Notre Dame for parents weekend or some crap. I don't know what it was. So Fish goes, get her on the phone. So I go, are you serious? He goes, call her up. So I call her, and I'm like, hey babe, blah, blah, blah. And Fish grabs the phone from me, and I said, hey, I won the tournament. And Fish grabs the phone from me, and he shoves the phone on the microphone. And here's what she goes, no, you didn't. And so Fish hands me the phone. I go, yes, I did. He puts the phone back. She goes, no, you didn't. Like that. I'm like, are you serious? So it's like, and so Fish finally grabbed the phone. He goes, hey, honey, he won the tournament. You know what I mean? It was so funny, man. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, wow, she really doesn't think I could do this.
That's a great story. So this is Hamner's first major win. What are some of the things that he's going through right now, just as far as, a 33-year-old guy looking over and saying, okay, it's not a team tournament. It's not a regional tournament. It's not a second place trophy. Like I was the best. Like, that's real. Like, does that take a while to sink in after your first kind of major win like that? And I know, Obviously an Open's a big win, but I mean, a Classic is on a different level, but there's got to be some stuff that I'm sure you can relate to.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get this right off the rip. The Classic is the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but I'm just talking about getting that first win.
Right. So anything that you feel winning an Open or an elite event is 100 times
has to be magnified,
more intense when you win the Classic. So here's the reality of it. I knew I won. Obviously, I got the big trophy literally seatbelted next to me, so nothing happens to it. I had to leave right after the Classic and drive to upstate New York for a photo shoot. And so I was supposed to be there in the morning the next day. And needless to say, I celebrated exuberantly over the victory. And so they call me up and go, "Hey, where are you at?" And I go, "I can be there in 3 hours." Because I had not left my room yet. In fact, they woke me up. So anyhow, so I pack my stuff up and I drive all the way up to this bay off of Lake Ontario, I think. I drive all the way up there. I literally don't get there till 4:00 in the evening. And they got all these dudes there, all these other pros and stuff. And the guy I meet him up at the ramp and he's like, "Nobody's got any fish for pictures." And I go, "You're kidding me." He goes, "No." And so my first thought is, I drove all the way up here to turn around and drive back. Yeah. So I go, "Come on, we'll launch the boat. We'll find something in this bay." And so I started idling out, and the whole bay is it's all grass.
So you probably launched in Chameau.
I don't think it was Chameau Bay, but so it was all grass. And I said, "This is going to be easy." And he's like, "What are you talking about? These guys have been fishing all day. Nobody's got any fish for pictures." I go, "All I got to do is find a bare spot, an open hole, or where this grass ends. If it's got rock on it, we're going to tear them up." And so I idle out there, and sure enough, dude, it was like the light bulb. The grass, all of a sudden, the grass just ends, and I got like a triple echo return on my 2D sonar, and the bottom is solid as concrete. I literally shut the boat off and just let it start drifting forward. I reach in my rod locker. I pull out two. Remember when Yum made those rib worms, those little 4-inch rib worms? Yeah. Anyways, it's like a ringworm. It's like a 4-inch ringworm with a hook tail on it, little tiny hook tail, and it's a ringed body.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I had 2 rods with those rigged on it, so I pulled them out. I gave the guy I was with one. Actually, the guy I was with, his name was Chris. I gave Chris one, and I took one, and I said, I dropped the trolling motor. I spun the boat around. I said, "Turn around and cast towards shore." And so we both cast out there, and no lie, it was like, don't, whack, whack. We got them going, and we sat there, and we literally caught 2 limits of decent largemouth like that. And so he gets on the phone. He calls all the camera dudes. He goes,
"We got fish."
Yeah, he goes, "Everybody get over here. SCALISH got him." And so I was laughing. Dude, I wasn't there for 20 minutes. And he looks at me. He goes, "Boy, when things go right, they go right, don't they?" And I go, "Hey, let's take pictures, man." And so we did that. And then I drove home. And it was on the way home that it hit me. Because by then I had to go few hours north of where I was, so it was about 6 hours till I got home, and I didn't even go straight home. You know what I did? I went straight to OSI and
Victory Tour.
Yeah, I gave them the trophy, and they put it in their showroom. But
you got it back, right?
Oh, heck yeah, it's right here.
Okay,
it's right there.
Oh, okay.
So it sunk in when I was going home. I was by myself. I got the trophy strapped to the seat, and I'm driving home, and then I just started shaking because I was like, "Holy smokes, man!" You know what I mean? It was like, wow, and
Yeah.
so I couldn't even imagine what Hammer feels like. I
I don't
couldn't
think
even
he knows how to
imagine.
feel or what he's feeling.
Oh, I would be, yeah, I could not imagine at all. But
You see someone like Hamner and the pure joy that he had and relief and disbelief. And then I think back to like KVD's third and fourth. And
oh
I'm like,
yeah,
dude, we took for granted, and I say this as a compliment, what a ruthless machine that guy was on the water.
oh dude, he he made it he made it so you expected it out of him.
I mean, it was like classic 3. Like, yeah, we all remember when he jumped up at the Pittsburgh Classic, on that stage and did that, like the raw, like and that. But like the third of the like, dude, it was just like, that's what
Yes,
I'm here to do. Like, thanks for coming out. I'll see you at the
yeah,
press conference. I'll see you at the
right,
champions toast. I'll see you at the photo shoot the next morning. I'll collect my bonuses, and then I'll kick your ass at the Elite Series next week.
yeah,
Like, it
100%,
was, I don't think
100%.
we appreciated how surgeon like and like I said, it was very Tiger Woods-ish looking at it,
Oh
because you
yeah,
look at Hamner, and I'm not saying there's a wrong way or a right way to win it. I mean, I know Cliff Pace took a lot of crap in 13 when he didn't celebrate enough for it. And then you
yeah,
get to know Cliff Pace and you're like, dude, like, no, like, he's not going to go
no,
bat crazy on it. Like, that's not Cliff. Like, that was totally. And then everyone talks about Chris Lane when he dropped to the one knee. And there's a bunch of different celebrations, but that's what I was thinking of was, dude, like when KVD was winning them,
dude,
it was just expected.
right,
And he expected it the most out of everybody.
well, he demanded that kind of performance out of himself. He put a lot of pressure on himself. I'll be honest with you, we won't see that again. We won't see that again.
I mean, we kind of see it in a different way with Wheeler. Like
Oh
Wheeler expects to win, and he does. But
yeah. Wheeler's stout.
I think everyone will 100% agree. The Classic is the Classic, and there's only one top stage in the world of professional bass fishing. I fully expect to see Wheeler on that stage before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean,
but you watch
Wheeler's
like how he wins and things like that, and he's got some of those machine tendencies.
Yeah, Wheeler's a beast. He's a real beast.
Mm-hmm.
But KVD was different. It's always different when you're the first one too. Don't forget that. But he took the tour over by storm. I mean, by storm. I mean, because if you think about it, the difference between the two is KVD changed the sport. He changed who follows the sport. He changed the interest in the sport. He had a lot to do with, I hate to say growing the sport. I hate that freaking term, but he had a lot to do with bringing a new audience to that sport, and it was phenomenal. I mean, it was phenomenal. You know what? You got to take your hat off to the guy. There's nothing.
In case you're wondering who we're talking about, this is the guy we're talking about, Kevin Veda. Who is that? Oh my gosh, Frankie's still in the background of that picture. Still sipping on the Coors Light, telling the story about how you go to the left of these. He's given up one of your holes right there. He's like, no, you go through the cut and then you go right. You go right around the island. That's what he's doing right there. He has given up some Frank Scalish Lake Erie juice to whoever this gentleman is right here. This is Frank. Look at him. He's looking off. He is telling something that he should not be telling about a spot that you found 30 years ago.
That's so funny, dude. That's so epic right there. That's great. Good for him, man.
Oh, I do need to show, speaking of Scalish photos,
What do you have, Matt? You're scaring the hell out of me right now.
I was stopped at the expo. They said, "Man, I've been looking for you. I printed something out for you." And this is high quality. This is the 8x10. One of the listeners years like, oh, God, I can't remember his name. He was awesome though. He had like a couple. He's like, you can choose which size you would like, and I was like, I will take the 8x10. It's either that or like a wallet size, which I thought would be weird to carry around. Yeah. So I went with the 8x10, and that is going to go right there on the wall of the BTL studio once I get it framed. I mean, look, I don't know how they had that rendered, but that is like.
It's very quality.
It's an HD quality 8x10.
Yeah, because he actually approached me with a color 7 and that photo, and I signed the photo for him and the color 7.
So I had this St. Jude, the team from St. Jude, Gretchen and Katie came into town because they were at the Bassmaster Classic, and then I took them fishing here because Gretchen, who runs that tournament, had never fished before. And they were looking at the studio. She picks this up and she goes, "Who is this?" And I said, that is Frank SCALISH.
That's
and she
Uncle
goes,
Frank.
"That looks like a very interesting guy." And then she asked how old it was. And I was like, that's gotta be from the 80s.
I have no idea, dude.
Like, kind of put a timestamp on that. That's got to be from the 80s, doesn't it?
I would say it's probably
like 87-ish.
Maybe that's my champion. That looks like my champion. So that was my 16.5-foot champion.
Mm-hmm.
That puts me pretty flipping young.
You're in your 20s there?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that's going to go in the BTL studio.
That's hilarious.
Jack,
I had the hair.
Kind of look like Ben Milliken in that picture.
Yeah, I had the hair, didn't I? See what happens when you have that kind of hair when you're young. Oh. That's so funny. I can't believe you absconded with that photo. And per usual, you've kept it to yourself. How didn't you tell me that?
Well, some things are just better kept to yourself until it's time to reveal them. Right?
Yeah, until it shows up on BTL.
Speaking of which,
reveal.
It is time to reveal. You got yours too.
Yes, I do.
And yes, this is a shameless plug.
It's a ruthless, shameless plug, but I don't really care. So
it is time to reveal the 2024, the first edition of the 2024. It's been a year and a half since we've had any of it, of the Frank SCALISH Signature Series line of apparel for sale now. The store is open on bassown.com. Click on the Shop BTL tab at the top. Let me go.
Yeah, and we're running out of time too.
What do you mean?
Aren't we? Isn't this just for like 2 weeks or something?
Oh, I thought you meant the show was running out of time.
No, the show could go on forever.
Yeah. So that is open. The store is only open through April 8th. What that allows us to do is sell those at a reasonable cost without having to buy a bunch and then doing the back stock of it. So we listened to what the viewers wanted. We listened to what Frank wanted. ATS Printing did a good job. Read the tag on the inside of that shirt, Frank, what type of t-shirt it is. It is not just a normal Hanes tee.
It's not. This thing is sweet. It's got a no stretch collar, and it's called Comfort Colors. It's a heavyweight, 100% cotton, no stretch collar, which I like because I can't stand when the t-shirt collars get all wrinkly and all stretched.
That's why
out.
we did it. So it is a $30 t-shirt straight up instead of a $24.95 t-shirt, which is what the last one was, which was a Hanes. So there's a number of different options on that. This is the one you're holding is what I would consider to be your signature piece. The black with the green BTL with the largemouth bass, that is a drawing that you've shown on BTL. That is a Frank Scalish original. And then we put your signature underneath it. So I will, I am 6 foot, 180 pounds, and the large fits me perfectly.
And
it is not too long. It doesn't billow out on the back. I'm very happy with a large for my size.
Yeah. And I'm much heavier than you, Matt. I'm coming in at a whopping 220, and the 2X fits perfect.
Yeah. So I haven't washed mine, but it can shrink a little bit and I would still feel comfortable with it.
I washed mine.
But it's kind of how much did it shrink?
Barely noticeable.
Barely noticeable shrinking. Yeah. So I'll pull it up now. Whoa, what the heck just happened there? Let's go to that.
They could have been a lot worse, Matt.
There we go. All right. So here are the t-shirts on it. So there's a number of different, we went with all kind of natural muted colors. There's ones that have largemouth, spotted bass, and smallmouth with the Frank Scalish signature underneath all of them. There's aqua color. There's long sleeve. There's a long sleeve in the black as well. It's the same t-shirt, kind of the heavyweight t-shirt like we had with the loaded to the cork t-shirt. 100% ring spun cotton. I don't know what that means, but apparently that's a selling point because they put it first.
Yeah, anything
the garment dyed. Oh, the garment dyed for that lived-in feel and almost no shrinkage at home. So we all know shrinkage is never a good thing when it comes to garments. So
it's never a good thing.
Yeah. So anyway, we went heavy on those shirts. That's kind of the Frank Scalish signature series line of apparel right there. So to get to that, all you do is you go basszone.com. Boom. There you have, see it's 0. You can also go through, watch the previous shows that are on Bass Zone. You can read about like me and Mark, and then you can click the Shop BTL tab, Shop BTL, boom, there it pops up, order it, store closes on the 8th, then they'll make all the garments and ship it to you. So
perfect.
Higher quality. I will selfishly also plug a couple other things, and then I'll have a call to action at the end. Is that okay?
Yeah. I'm sitting right here.
Classic BTL shirt, classic BTL hoodie. That's going to be your normal BTL or normal hoodie like you would just buy anywhere. This BTL hoodie that I have on is the super heavyweight hoodie. It's $60. It's a pullover. It doesn't shrink. It's got the thick cuffs on it. It's one that you were super nitpicky about with the loaded to the cork sweatshirt.
Best hoodie made.
Yep. And then kind of a form-fitted BTL with the new BTL logo on it. I've been wearing that one the last couple days of BTL. So I was hesitant, like, dude, it's like a $60 hoodie. Like, that's ridiculous. And a $36 long sleeve. But
it's not.
They have assured me those are normal prices now, and especially because I went up on we're not making anything more on it. It's because I went up on the quality and the pricing for them.
Yeah, but no, the thing with a good hoodie is they last forever.
Yep. So also a ladies pullover hoodie. There were a lot of husbands and wives, met a lot of lady anglers that were at the Bassmaster Classic. So I said, hey, Catherine, we need to throw a lady fit pullover hoodie in there. So if that is on your shopping list, there's that. Youth hoodie, threw a youth hoodie in there as well. And then my favorite, just because I feel like it's like kind of dapper, quarter zip with the Circle BTL logo. That's the one I was wearing at the Classic and all the footage that's on my Instagram. So a large is ample for me in that. Like, it can totally shrink. I would definitely true size that one, or else it'll be a little bit baggy. What else is there before I get to it? And then the Frank stuff, threw some hats in there, a couple leftover stuff. So here's the call to action. Here's a call to action, Frank. So every year we do the St. Jude fundraiser, and we do a t-shirt for the St. Jude fundraiser. And this is this year's t-shirt right here. It is the first thing on it. 100% of the proceeds go to benefit St. Jude as part of the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic that raised over $1.1 million. It's up in Wabasha the first week of May. I will be there supporting it. So we revamped the shirt for this year. We put fish in the St. Jude, the Bass Fishing Saves Lives, BTL, and St. Jude. Bumped that up to $29.95. 100% of the proceeds from that go to St. Jude. Last year, I think we did a little over $2,500 just in t-shirt sales. Perfect. I am also currently working on getting a sponsor of BTL to match whatever we do in t-shirt sales up to a certain amount.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So here's the deal. If you're going on and you're going to buy one of Frank's shirts or you're going to buy some BTL stuff, add a BTL St. Jude 2024 shirt to that order. If you listen to BTL, I've had Miles Berghoff on. I just talked to him today. He right now is in Memphis at St. Jude's with his 1-year-old who is currently going through chemotherapy treatment. It really hit home. I mean, when you're talking about a 1-year-old Riley, full of life, things are going good as they can be to have a 1-year-old in St. Jude for the foreseeable future. They do not have any bills that they have to worry about. He is able to create content. He said, all things considered, it's been pretty remarkable on how quickly they've gotten into a routine. But I've always pushed this shirt before. I'm really pushing it hard right now. I sent that shirt to Joey Nani. I sent it to Matt Steffen. I sent it to a bunch of other people to say, hey, get this shirt out. 100% of the proceeds go that. And then the cool thing is it's not like it just goes to St. Jude. It will actually go to you. They will know that it comes from the BTL because it'll be our donation to the St. Jude Dick Hiley Bass Classic that we have every year. So perfect. There you go. If you know someone, it's also a 60-40 cotton polyester blend. It's the same one the same type of shirt that it was made out of last year. So it's a little bit more of a truer fit, a softer feel on it, but still thick. So there you go. I'll put the link in my description. I sent it to Frankie. If you're cool with that, you can put a link in your social medias too as well for that.
Yeah.
Frank.
100%.
I like the blue color though, don't you?
Yeah, the blue's kind of cool, man. I like them both. I like the black a lot, actually.
Link for the shop is in the description, in the YouTube description.
Perfect.
We good on the clothing?
I actually wrote it down.
Heck yeah. Oh, I got one more piece of clothing. I showed it on the show, but I don't think I've shown you. So, Rick, it was his 50th year and he had a booth there.
Yeah.
There's the Rick Clunn hat. I waited in line. Got
nice.
Rick Clunn to sign it.
Dude.
Is that not cool?
That's very cool.
Look at that. I mean, that's going to be on the wall forever. I'm putting that in a little shadow box hat.
Yeah, you have to. You have to protect that hat.
I know this is a LureNet sponsored show, but I'm showing the Rio Rico. That's the 50 years of fishing. Rick Clunn signed the Rio Rico. It's what he won was first U.S. Open on the top water. So I'm taking the Rico and the hat, boom, putting it in a shadow box.
Dude, I have a funny Rico story.
Let's hear it. An Uncle Rico story or a Rico?
Uncle Rico. Story? Hey, Uncle Rico. No. I do. I do. So,
I was like, okay, well, we're going there.
So I have a friend of mine that owned a tackle shop here where I live. It was called the Rod Maker Shop, and great guy. So one day I'm over there and Ray goes, "Hey, dude, you have to try this lure." And I go, "Let me see it." He shows it to me. I go, "Oh, it's like a pop bar." He goes, "No, it's a Rico." I go, "How much are they?" And I think back then it was like $19 or something. I go, "Dude, I'm not throwing a $19 pop bar. Forget about it." He goes, No, seriously. He goes, "Just take it with you." I was going to Lake Norman. He goes, "Take it with you and fish it and tell me what you think." And then I said, "Well, I'm going to give it back to you I'm giving it back to you when I come home. He goes, yeah, that's okay. Just give it back to me when you come back, but fish it and let me know what you think. And I'm like, okay. And so I got it tied on, and my buddy Troy and I are zipping down the lake, and we got this riprap wall that we always fish, and it's blowing like a hurricane. I mean, it's blowing. And I slide up to that wall, man, and I said, watch this, Troy. This thing's 1999. You know what I mean? It's like, nobody was buy this lure. And I fire it out there, dude, and that wind catches it, and it just makes a big hook right into the rocks. Bam!
Oh, no. Dude, those things chip. The mouth on them chip like it's going out of style, dude, if you look on them wrong.
It was my first cast. My first cast with this thing. It peeled like an onion skin, dude. It's by the way, they're bone underneath, so that wasn't such a bad thing. But I had to bring that bait back to my buddy. There was literally zero paint left on it. I think there was some red on the
paint right off of it, dude. It's unbelievable. I got it broken in for you now.
Right, dude. It was the funniest thing on earth. It was literally my first cast with the thing, and I was just like, oh my god,
that is a good story.
I felt like I was throwing a Christmas tree ornament. It just blew apart.
That's like Juice, the first tournament we were ever throwing glide baits. I tie them on one, and I mean dead center's a metal dock pole first cast, and he doesn't say a thing, and I just do one of these looks, and we don't hear anything, and I said, you're getting the S waiver, and I cut it off and tied the S waiver on because they're only 19.99. I said, cast away, Juice. I do want to mention one more thing. If you order the St. Jude BTL support St. Jude shirt, we're going to throw in a BTL die cut decal for free.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so you can get that. So you can either give it to that one buddy that has the refrigerator that he puts all the stickers. Everyone has that buddy who either has the refrigerator with the stickers, or everything on his bass boat is a sticker that someone else has given him, regardless of the brand. Like, you all know who everyone has one.
Hey, dude, I got the door.
Or you can put it on your boat or truck. So
the door to my fly tying room is like that. I've got partial boat wraps on it from my years fishing, partial pieces of boat wrap. I've got all kinds of crazy shit on there. Bomber logos, Norman logos.
I got a new addition too. Gosh, I'm leaving the show a lot today. Sorry, I'll be right back.
That's all right. See ya. So while Matt's gone, I'm going to tell you a little story about Matt. Oh, wait, he's back.
No, I literally, it was the other side. It was like on the other side of the studio. So, you got to ride in the new wheels. You were like literally the first person to ride it. And the thing had like
second.
Fair point. So, focus here.
All right, focus.
Well, just while you were talking about things that are sentimental, so that 18 truck. Okay, so I got a new truck, and so
oh my god, you people don't know how funny this is.
So when I was getting rid of the 18, it had 117,000. I'd taken that thing across the country, had a lot of fond memories of it, and I realized I'd had the same. No, we're not. Literally, I've got a water, and Frank hasn't drank anything in over an hour.
No, I'm actually dehydrated.
And I realized I put this OU on the front because we don't have to have license plates on the front of our vehicles. I put this thing on 317,000 miles ago, and it traveled with me the entire time. I never took it off since I got the truck in 2018 until a couple days ago. And that thing is absolutely just beat up. I mean, it was brand new and metal. I mean, look at all the rock scars and stuff on it. So I was talking like just sentimental stuff. I'm like, dude, that's going in the studio too. That's the truck that I was in when I started, fishing the Opens and the Toyotas and all that.
It has to, dude. You put 350 some thousand miles on that truck.
I mean, think about all the stuff that license plate has seen.
Or been hit by.
Yeah, or been hit by. Yeah, I mean, it was cool, but yeah, just little sentimental stuff like that.
That's great. So remember, guys, the forward-facing sonar minnow came out in 2 new sizes, a 4-inch and a 5.
Is it out? We're still selling stuff. We'll go back to lures now and get off the apparel and go to lures.
No. We're not selling stuff. I just want to.
No, I know. I'm just giving it a hard time. I did see them. So they are way bigger than I thought they would be.
Oh, they're beautiful, dude.
They're awesome, but they are.
Yeah, they're beefy.
They're a full 4 inches and a full 5 inches.
Yeah, they're beefy. And so I actually got a couple packs of the 4-inchers to do a video with, not a fishing video, but a in-studio video, a how-to. And I've actually been catching fish on them the few times that I've been going, because it was still winter here when I got them. And so, so the fish were behaving for forward-facing sonar. And I am a fan. That's all.
Are they out on the lure net yet, or are they were they just at the Classic? Because
Oh, they might have just been at the Classic. Did I make a mistake?
Nope. I made a mistake. There they are. So in order to figure out, like, if you don't choose an option, it doesn't let you choose a length.
Right.
But if you choose like IU, 3, 4, or 5 inch.
Right. So then you go into options and it'll give you sizes and stuff like that.
3, 4, or 5. But yeah, no, they look fantastic.
Oh, that 4-incher is just money. I can't wait to drop shot that on smallmouth. That's just money. It makes a great spinnerbait trailer too. But I really like them. And the BTL 24 code is going to be good all year. So capital BTL 24. Anyway, no more shameless plugs. That's it. We're done. We're done with the shameless plugs.
Oh, I was going to say we're done with the show. No, we're only an hour.
I'm not. It's not
okay. Let's just give something away then, or talk about giveaway, or when we're going to give something away.
So I absconded with
2 absconded in one show. That's impressive.
Oh, did I use it twice already?
Yeah. You don't use a word like that and forget.
Man, alive. I got to be careful because I noticed that there has been a drinking game floating around about some of my sayings that I say multiple times. So I'm trying to say things only once now, but I don't have.
You have to have signature sayings, though.
Well, that's true.
So you really should lean into it instead of
shy away.
That's like our favorite word, which is that I could never remember.
Bloviate.
Bloviate, yeah.
Bloviate. So at any rate, so what the hell were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking. I believe you were going to lead into how we're going to give away the.
Oh yeah. I'm on it. So as you see, my note page is empty. So I'm failing in note taking tonight. So I have 5 or 6 color number 7s that I already autographed, and we're going to give them away to some of the fans that didn't have a chance to make it to the Bassmaster Classic this go around. So I don't know how we're going to give them away yet, man.
Yeah, that would have been helpful in the pre-show meeting.
Yeah, well, to be announced.
You know what? I think we should give, starting next Thursday, we should give 1 away each week for the next 6 weeks.
Okay. I'm good with that.
And we'll give 3 away to live listeners. And we'll give 3 away to someone who leaves a comment that can't watch live, but wants to add to the show in the YouTube comments.
Perfect.
Or on iTunes. Want to leave an iTunes review on
that's
Ask Talk Live. Yeah. So 3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
I'm leaving it up to you on who to give it to, so you can get all the hate on that, and I'm completely innocent.
That's okay. I got big shoulders. I could take it.
Okay. That works. Truck wise though, I do want to give a shout out. It's So every once in a while, we're in the industry, and the hope is that you represent a company that allows you or other people to trust, to say, hey, if they're behind it, they're good. This is where we're going to go. So I literally bought a truck because they sponsor professional fishing and an angler from Gilchrist. And they do a bunch in Texas. They sponsor Chris on the Elite Series. They sponsor a couple different anglers. They do a lot down in Texas with team trails and things too. So I went down there. They hooked me up. They have like 20 dealerships. I have nothing to do with them. I literally went down and got the truck. Like,
That's
I'm not sponsored or anything, but I went down and I did it just because they're involved in fishing. They're easy to work with. It took 2 or 3 times because once I saw the one that I wanted, I was like, yeah, no, we got to find that one.
Yeah. And, it's funny how that
got the job done, and it was super, super painless and smooth and easy. So that's how it's supposed to work in the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly how it's supposed to work.
That's exactly right. You got to support. Well, you guys know that. You guys are actually really good at it. But you got to support what supports what you like to do. For sure.
Yep. What else you got?
Dry mouth.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I still have to drive to Fort Worth tonight.
What is it? A couple hours?
Right, exactly 3 hours. Dealership is it's Gilchrist, but the parent company is Gilchrist, but the dealership was Pegasus Chevrolet, like a little town down in Texas. Jim was asking.
Cool.
I think they sold trucks to a couple of guys in the Opens. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, boys and girls.
So I'm good for another 350,000 miles.
Dude, that truck that you had was
it really that bad? Like, I got rid of it and everybody was like, yeah, we were taking bets onto what state you were going to break down in.
Oh yeah, dude, no, it was beyond that bad. It was beyond that bad. The first truck I had on tour, I bought it and I literally traded it in with 187,000 miles on it. And the people at the place couldn't believe it. They're like, how the hell do you put that kind of mileage on? You've only had it for a couple of years. And I said, I travel. I travel for a living. And they go, yeah, you sure do. You know what I mean? And then I traded that in and got another one. And that's just the nature of the beast, man. When you run these tournaments, you put the mileage on your stuff, and it's towing mileage too,
Steven asked, did anyone stick out to you guys as far as fans? Yeah, there was one. So I'm sitting there talking, his whole family was there, had a BTO hat on. And he is talking about, and he says something about Santee. And I said, oh, did you fish? He goes, yeah, I'm fishing the EQs as well. And I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. And I said, how are you doing? He goes, I'm in 13th. Overall, came to BB, I'm down in 69th. This dude's in 13th overall in the standings, waiting in line to talk to you and me. And I was like, well, dang, bang, maybe I should be freaking getting your autograph. Yeah, hey, Cody Steckel.
Hey, you'll have that, dude. That's fishing, man. That's fishing. That's how fishing goes.
Yeah, he has finishes of 58th, 28th, and 36th this year. And that puts him in 13th. Super nice dude. Super nice family.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good fantastic dude too. Really enjoyed talking to him. So hopefully I'll run into him in the check line in Alabama in the following the upcoming tournament.
I mean, you got half the season left, 3/4.
But I mean, season. We talked for like 5 or 10 minutes before I had to like get it out of him. Yeah. No, he got a little sheepish. I'm fishing them all. How are you doing? I'm in 13th. I said, excuse me? I said, like, overall, like 13th. Yeah. I've had 3 pretty good ones.
That's good. Good for him, man. That's how fishing goes. And that's what makes the sport so cool, because 1 minute you could be on top, the next minute you could be on the bottom. I remember when I threw up my worst year ever, like it was horrifying. I don't think I had a finish above 50th place, and most of them were way down there. Just everything that went wrong could go wrong. Nothing went right. I was despondent over it completely. And then the next season came around, and I was real squeamish about fishing again. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have that validation, so I was real squeamish about it. And so then I decided that I was just going to not worry about anything except catching fish, and then I turned it around. But when you get wrapped up in everything,
Oh, hey, what's up?
there's little Bammers. She came to visit. What are you doing? But when you get wrapped up in things that, like I have to do this and I have to do that, it monkeys the works up. And so when I realized that it's called fishing because you're supposed to just go fish. And that's how it
Listen,
goes.
I fought through some demons after Santee. So I had a bad one at Toledo Bend last year. I think I finished like 130th or something like that. But other than that, whatever, 30 some opens. There's a couple people who let me know that I haven't had many top 10s. I get it, but I finish in the top half of the field 98% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to.
I had a limit streak of 25 consecutive days in the opens. I was damn proud of that, Frank.
It's hard to do.
There was a lot of tournaments where I would go in and I would figure it out as I went. I mean, I talked to you sometimes before, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea. And it happens. But it happened so many in a row where I had salvaged it, where I'd made it work, that I wouldn't say it. This one shook my confidence a little. I will say it, because I just assumed I'll figure it out. There's no way I'll tank that hard. And I mean, I'm putting all the effort in. I'm working. I'm trying to find the best pattern. It's not like I'm just going out there and saying it'll happen. I'm busting my ass on it. Right.
Right.
But I mean, dude, like, it didn't freaking happen this time. And I didn't even think of 162nd or third as an option. Like, I've always figured a way to finish in the top half of the field, to finish,
Right.
A bad tournament was at 60th, 70th, 80th, even a 98th in Florida. There are 235 people in that tournament. That's a top half tournament. I get over 100 Angler of the Year points. Not great on paper, but when you look at the long and short of it, you can get away with that. This one was like, oh, wow, yeah, no, that can happen.
Yeah, but you learned something real valuable there. Because the fish honkered down in the knees and bedded down.
Yeah.
And you were still fishing them post spawn, suspending in that water column.
But I just mean, like, mentally, like up in my head, you're talking about that, where it wasn't even, I didn't even think of that as an option. The total tank, right?
Right.
And it's not like I was trying to win it or top 10 it, or it was a one and done. Like, I was fishing for points. I was trying to catch as much weight as I could each day. I didn't care if they were 2.5 pounders. I didn't care if they were 6 pounders.
Right.
But so I got, I've done a little bit of.
Well, the only advice that I could tell you is it's over now. So leave it alone.
I'm good with it, but because we've had some fun, so we might as well have a little serious talk too.
Yeah, right. I mean, but it's in the past. And it doesn't matter now. That was the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing when I tanked one, and I've tanked a bunch. That was the hardest thing for me to do, would be let it go. And but once I learned to do that, then everything started to change, because I didn't get beat down on one event. One event beat me. It's not going to beat me in other events. You know what I mean? And so you just forget it and move on. But don't forget what you learn. That's the important part. Don't forget what you learn.
Good stuff. I think we need to just end the show with this photo.
That's great. That is fantastic, man.
We're going to focus on this region of the photo right here.
Frankie, Bruce, and KVD.
If that's not on Frankie's wall within 2 days, it's on bassfishinghof.com, where you can also go to read all about the limited run of the Fred Arbogast Jitterbugs. that you will be painting exclusively for Kevin. Wait a second. We're going to keep this photo up. Does this mean that there's a possibility we could get KVD on day 4 with Frank Scalish to talk about this lure drop to benefit the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame?
There could be a possibility. I can only call him and ask him. That's all I can do.
Like, what are we given the over under, like the percentage chance that we could get KVD to make a guest appearance on day 4?
Quite honestly, it's all going to be about timing because that dude is busy. I talked to him and he's busier now that he's not going to be fishing than when he was fishing.
You still got a cell phone number?
Yeah, I talked to him the other day.
Oh, well, we're up to 90% then.
Yeah, that's what I said. All I got to do is call and find out.
It's just a matter of timing.
Yeah, it's just going to be a timing issue. You know, if the baits are going to release and he's going to be available, we got him. If the baits are going to release and he's not going to be available till later, then, you know, we may not get him.
David's saying it's 100%. The other David, he's saying it's an 85% chance. Jim's giving you a 73% chance.
All right, I'm going to weigh in and say there's 100% chance.
Okay, Clyde's giving it 100% chance. The Pinhook Fishing Club. That's got to be...
That's the apple.
Yeah, that's got to be Alan with the apple.
That's right. We're in. If Pinhook Fishing Club says yes, then by God.
Well, he's saying it just because he thinks it would be good for the brain because he knows how many people listen to BTL.
I have to make more notes. See, Matt, you're giving me more homework to do now.
Okay. Well, we have to know because you haven't even painted them yet, right?
Oh, they're done.
Oh, they're done.
Yeah, I painted them before I left for the Classic.
Okay. So we have to know when those are going to drop on LureNet and then coincide KVD making a guest appearance on day 4 with Frank Scalish to that. You think they broke the internet before?
I think they got that glitch worked out.
However, what are there, a total of 900 of them? There's what, 300 for KVD and 300 for a couple different.
Yeah, I think Bill Dance, Jason Christie, KVD. There might be one snuck in there for me somewhere down the road.
Yeah, those will be gone in like.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
What is the over under that those sell out faster than the first run of the color number 7s?
I'm gonna say the Great Crash of 24.
Jay's Outdoors is already naming it the Jitterbug LureNet Crash of 24.
That's so good. I don't think they're going to sell out as fast as Color 7.
I think they will.
Although they might.
It's a KVD and a Jitterbug collab.
I can't.
And I mean, he's a Strike King guy. So then to get him to put his name on this for the Hall of Fame, I mean, this is definitely a one-off.
Oh, yeah.
It'll never happen again.
Never happen again. I'm everybody's real uncle.
All right. So the
That's great.
plan was, before we got sidetracked, was we were going to bring the music in. We were going to keep this photo up. We were going to zoom it in. There you go.
Is so funny, man.
There you go, with Frankie in the background. So,
what are the chances?
You got anything else?
Nah, dude, I'm out. But I'm saving it for another.
So that's a yes.
Yes, I have nothing else.
Well, tease it a little bit. You can't do that.
I can't.
I turned the music down, so now I have to ramp it back up for a second closing.
Well, because that's how we do it here. I can't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I am supposed to let the cat out of the bag. But I do have. Since I made you turn the music down, I have a special thing coming on LureNet, starting in starting in May. It's gonna there might be some signature series baits coming out on LureNet in May.
That's a good tease.
That's all I can do right now.
Okay. BassZone.com. Click on the Shop BTL tab. If you're gonna buy something, add the St. Jude and BTL collab shirt. 100 of the proceeds go to St. Jude for the next, until April 8th. So it kind of depends on when you're listening this. This is a one-off run right now of Frank SCALISH Signature Series apparel. Also the first drop of the new BTL merch. Check it out. I cannot thank the BTL fan base and every single individual who I met at the Classic, who jumps onto the live shows, who weren't able to make it to the Classic, who comments, who send emails to both Frank and me, who DM us pictures. Cannot thank you enough for the support that you've had at BTL. I look forward to doing the show every week. I know Frank looks forward to it. It's awesome when we get an evening show. We get some of the guys in that comment and that we talk to that we don't get to see on a regular basis. But I think that's all we got for tonight. Next Thursday, 8:30 a.m., we will be back with another edition of Day 4.
Outstanding.
See ya.